Right. Well, yeah. And so when you talk to the people, when you talk to the people about um, what do you call it? Criminal justice. Oh wow, criminal justice reform. You don't have people talking about criminal justice reform in the neighborhood. You don't have people talking about putting criminals back in the neighborhood in black and brown communities. It just doesn't happen. It is, and that's the interesting thing, Frank. It is insulting, and Al Sharpton is not a good person, and he's not a very smart person. So we have a lot of issues with old Al. But look here, I'm going to take a little pause for the cause and see what we can do here, and we'll be right back with Mr. Frank Venusia. Joe is always so selective about who he attacks, who he wants to bring down. It's just amazing to me. Amazing. Frank, what do you think? Well, did you see Joe talking about transgenders and gays shedding blood and I mean, they have fundamentally everybody is laughing at us. The Russians, the Chinese, because they know they will kick our butts with all of these so-called changes to the American military. The women, I mean, the bottom line is like women cops, very ineffective. Like women firefighters, very ineffective when it comes to being in the field. So here we are with people who won't stand up and call a spade a spade. And that goes for people like Tom Cotton. Tom Cotton's been in combat. He knows women don't belong in combat. There are other congressmen and senators who served in Afghanistan and Iraq, and they know damn well the women did not perform under combat conditions. Period. That's not Charles Butler saying that. It just happened. Well, what they know is this. What they know is this, Frank. They know that anytime that women are introduced into an all male environment, that the men stop becoming an effective fighting force. There have been dozens and dozens and dozens of studies that have concluded that, and that's because of the relationships between men and women. Women are not warriors, and men take on this. I'm going to protect you. I'm the alpha male. All of that be so. You go from having a very collegial, a very coordinated, a very precise working unit to a unit that's clamoring for female attention. Okay, that's just a fact. These men need to stand up. The military is not a social experiment. Don't they think for some reason that this integration we did back in the 50s and 60s with black men have always fought in our wars from the Indian wars. We even before that, I'm talking about the Indian American wars. Black slaves fought in that war alongside their slave masters. That's George Washington cut his teeth in that war. The 7 Years' Wars, what the British call it. We call it the French and Indian War. So but the reality here is we don't need women in these units, and the bottom line is they don't contribute anything that a guy can't do better. So and this is the other thing. It's like that Chauvin guy who choked out George Floyd. There's no way that 20 years ago this guy would have got on the police force. He's too small. He's too little. Why is he there? He obviously he couldn't handle this guy, and then he killed the guy. Well, we still have issues with police forces. We've always had corruption in the Boston police. We've always had corruption in the New York and the Chicago police, ran by crooked ass Irishmen, Irish Catholic cops, crooked as hell. Just like the mafia. So and these are things that you have all of these hypocrisies running through America, and the question becomes at some point, Frank, when are we going to do the right thing? Like you talked about the lack of policing in the Black community. Black people want police and they want better policing in their communities. All of this Black Lives Matter crap is just that crap. Remember I told you that Black Lives Matter had scheduled to shut down the freeway in Chicago for 2 miles. And when they showed up in the Black community, because they're mostly white people in the Black Lives Matter movement, the Black people ran them back to their cars, their buses, and their trains and said, "Get the hell out of our community." Nobody talks about that, though, but Charles Butler. Well, well, I don't have a problem with that. Because these reporters have brought it on themselves. I remember when Antifa went to the Trump inaugural. They broke office building windows. They set cop cars on fire. They attacked police officers, and they were portrayed as peaceful. What did Joe Biden just say? They're peaceful protesters. But okay, thanks, Frank. Appreciate you, dude. Okay, too. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Thank you very much, Frank. I'm sorry. I had him cut off. Dang it. I hate that. Hey, I'm just getting back. So sorry that I had him cut off. Sorry about that. Somebody should have let me know out there, but that's okay. Hey, look, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Okay. Yeah. A little quiet storm. Yeah, like I'm sure that Joe Biden's policies are a quiet storm blowing through your life. If you're awake, if you're awake and you go to the gas pump, you really get awake because your gas prices are $1 higher than they were 6 months ago. And you could honestly say that you support Joe Biden. Joe Biden's been wrong on every foreign and domestic issue the last 40 some years. I didn't say that. Secretary Gates said that, who worked for Republican and Democrat presidents, because it's true. The guy's a moron, and he's ill-tempered. He's just a bad person. And you black people out there, I'm saying you people, okay, you black people out there. If you want to get mad about something, get mad about this immigration policy. Get mad about these immigrants, these illegal immigrants coming across the border who can't speak English, who are taking resources away from your children, who already have resources taken away from them. That's what you need to get mad at with your dumb self. Black Americans are the dumbest group in America. And that, my good friends, is that a vestige from slavery? No, it's a vestige from socialism and the socialist and communist and Marxist influence of the civil rights movement. Why do I say that? because the communists and the socialists and the Marxists were the only white people and Jewish people to help black folks in civil rights. So when they said, well, but Dr. King he's working with the communists. Well, that's because J. Edgar Hoover didn't even have black people in the FBI. He wouldn't hire a black person with his homosexual self in the FBI. I guess it's just too much testosterone. And he was thinking about that thing they had in their pants or something that just threatened him to death. So he did not hire black people. I wonder if they had black janitors at the FBI during that time. Probably, but neither here nor there. He didn't hire black agents. That's a fact. So, and it's really ironic because today we have the special agent in charge of Chicago, of all places, one of the larger FBI agencies, is a black man. Congratulations, sir. I think his name is Epperson. So, but I am really glad that Mitch McConnell, in his drawn out way, is kind of putting the screws to his old friend Joe Biden. Joe Biden has picked 208 nominees so far to fill key roles in his administration. And we're tracking, or I should say the Washington Post is tracking, 792 government positions among the 1,200 that require Senate confirmation. This is interesting. So check this out. 342 positions have no Biden nominee. 5 picks are waiting formal nomination. 149 are being considered by the Senate, and only 54 have been confirmed. That's because they're so horrible. They're horrible. These people are so bad that you would do better getting your high school senior, your son or daughter, to go out and replace these people. I'm going to play for you, if I can find it real quick, this clip of this guy who they were interviewing for the FTA position. He didn't know the definition of assault rifle, and he calls himself an expert. And I'm an expert, his face all scrunched up. And I'm an expert on assault rifles. We don't have assault rifles on the streets of America. That's the lie that they tell. And they sit there and they tell these lies with a straight face. Well, maybe they believe what they say. But this guy, I laughed so hard when he talked about he was an expert. I almost fell out of my seat. I'm an expert. Dave Chipman. Total a moron. I mean, if he became the head of any government agency, I can guarantee you it would be an atrocity. The guy is really, really bad. So I'm going to see if I can play this guy's. I don't think I can. I'm trying to pull him up. Nope, it's not playing. Nope, it's not playing. But I know how to deal with that in the future. I've got a problem with these files, man. I got a problem with these files. But that's okay. Got a problem with these files. That's okay. Let's see here. What we got. Hey, as some of you know, I told you I had relocated to Tampa and waiting to move into a permanent spot. It is a seller's market. People are bidding on homes, and they're bidding 10%, 20% over the asking price and getting the home. And sometimes not getting the home, betting 25% over the asking price. So it is truly a seller's market down here. And I'm having fun, to say the least, but I am about ready to do some other things here. But look, let me see. Long story. So Joe is not getting his nominees through. A good thing. And I was trying to play this guy Chipman. He's a moron. Tell me he's an expert. He's an expert in guns and gun control. Well, if you take guns out of the hands of law-abiding citizens, what have you done but just disarm the citizenry? You fool. Criminals don't disarm. That's why they're called criminals. They don't follow the law. You think that they wait for a background check when they're buying guns? They buy guns right out of the trunk of cars in Chicago. I've seen it myself, taking pictures. I used to put those pictures and those videos up until I was asked to stop showing the faces because I could be sued or something like that. And the police, they were doing their thing. They had their little scams going, I guess, or their surveillance, and they didn't want me putting this information out on YouTube. So I honored that. I respected that. When we talk about, I haven't talked about this in a while because, I have been off the air for 30 days. But when we talk about COVID-19, I've often talked about the fallacies, the hypocrisies, the misinformation, disinformation that's been perpetrated by Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci has conflicts of interest. Dr. Fauci has his name on patents that he is making money on. So no wonder he didn't want you to take a pill, that hydrocortisone. He didn't want you to take that pill where you get 100 pills for $5 when he's selling, or he's working for people that are selling one pill for $20, and he's getting part of that money. Fauci needs to be fired. Biden's too stupid to fire him because he doesn't care. Kamala Harris, oh God. Kamala Harris, yesterday when she did her fall on the face, get kicked in the butt routine at the Naval Academy, man, that was hilarious. I laughed so hard. That just tickled me to death for some reason. That she could go and talk about, you ask a Marine and she will say. These people don't get it. This is, it's like the NBA. So when we're talking basketball, we're going to talk WNBA. That ain't the NBA, baby. Maybe see, and this is the thing about people. And folks, I want you to understand this. And we talked about this before. We're got about 18 minutes here, so I'm gonna try to cram a few things in that I haven't touched on in 30 days. But this is what I want you to understand. When Kamala Harris made that comment, she made that comment to people who had real experience. She was making that comment to young women who had signed up to be Marine officers, who know that they cannot physically pass the infantry school. They can't do it. They're women. They can't even pass the bare requirements. They're lowering requirements to try to get women in the Marine Corps infantry. What good is that going to do these women? Better yet, what good is it going to do these Marines? Being in that situation is hell. We don't need women in these environments. And I can tell you, having been around before, women were allowed in locker rooms and all that craziness. You white boys out there, you need to step up. You need to man up, and you need to get your women under control. This whole gender equality, all this. Hey, you know what? If you're in a classroom, okay. If you're in a corporate setting, fine. We can talk about gender equality. We can talk about intellectual prowess. We can talk about intuitive skills. But when you're talking about going house to house, knocking doors open, pulling yourself up through a floor where there are no steps, using your arms, no legs, women ain't gonna do it. When you're talking about helping me, lifting me up, or pulling me out of a fire zone, in the middle of a firefight, women can't do that. It's like a woman in a fire. She ain't gonna come in there and pick up a 120-pound person, that dead weight, put it on her back and go to a ladder and walk down the ladder. She ain't gonna do it. Can't do it. She want to. I know these people, they're brave. Physically can't do it. I'd be hard pressed to do it today, but I'm gonna get in shape. For those of you who are tuning me in on YouTube, and who's out there, guys? I see you 4 people out there. Hey, tell me who you are. Tell me who you are. Sign in. Roll call. I know I've been AOL, and I'm sorry, but I had to take the time off for myself. I had to take the time to get organized. I had to take the time to just to take some time for Charles Butler because I worked real hard. I've worked real hard over the years. So, but we have to keep the pressure on. We have to stand up. Hey, T. Rob, what's up? What's up, T. Rob? Thanks, T. Rob. I appreciate it. Appreciate you welcoming me back. It means a lot. So I'm gonna put out here. Thank you. Okay, man. I tell you. All right. So I'm surprised that Pedro and those guys aren't here, but that's okay. They probably got since I kind of slid on them. They're coming back slowly. I'll have to hit them. But check it out. So we have to get back to Brenda Henderson. Interesting. First time listener. Well, thank you, Brenda, for tuning in. Appreciate that. Tell your friends, and not your family, but tell your friends to tune in because we're going to rock and roll. We're going to pick up the pace. And I can tell you this, but segueing into what's going on with Camilla. And I was talking about the speech she made at the Naval Academy. It didn't go over well. Why didn't it go over well? Because those young ladies have jumped out of helicopters. Those young ladies have crawled in fields. Those young ladies have ran obstacle courses with men, and they know what the real deal is. So there is no, I can't do this because somebody told me back. No, you need to do it. You need to get it done. But Kamala Harris was the first woman to speak at the U.S. Navy commencement. See, Joe Biden is really a screw up. Kamala Harris. Let's talk about Kamala for a minute. Kamala Harris was the first person to drop out of the primary in the presidential race, and he picked her for running mate because black women threatened not to vote for him if he didn't pick a black woman. It's all this identity politics. Pick the best person, dude. If it's a white chick, okay. If it's a brown chick, okay. Like a lot of people trying to hold Haley, Governor Haley up, or Ambassador Haley from South Carolina. I've met Ambassador Haley, nice woman, nice woman, great temperament, great story, but she is not qualified to be president. I'm sorry. She's not going to be president. She's like Jeb Bush. I kept telling people, Jeb Bush doesn't have a snowball chance in hell to be president. Why? Because he's married to this Mexican who's as tall as she is wide. And she's not going to be first lady. Now, it's amazing how they treated Melania Trump. Beautiful woman by any standard. Michelle Obama's good looking, but Melania was gorgeous, in my opinion. I could wake up every morning and look at Melania Trump. Now, I can't say that about Michelle Obama because her mouth would get in the way, and just as Barack Obama would say, Michelle. I love that boy. He has the patience of Job. Hey, what's going on, Gerald? Oh, there's Hen. Hey, man, how you doing? Hendrix TV, what's up, baby? You guys are back. We're all back. So, hey, thanks. Spread the word. Let's keep the numbers coming, keep the numbers growing. I'm down here in Tampa, looking to get a new radio show down here in Tampa on the local scene. Blow it up. Do what we do. We're also negotiating a contract for a TV show. So we won't be doing this here. We'll be in studio and, the lights, action, camera, and I'll be in a nice little suit. Then I'll, have the studio by me and, that whole thing. But so Camilla yesterday, says, now this is a chick who's supposed to be taking care of the border, right? She's the border czar. And she goes and she embarrasses these young people. I remember I was on a plane with a young boy who had graduated from Annapolis, and he was talking about Barack Obama coming to Annapolis to speak. And see, when you get to those things, they they make you show up like 2 hours early, and you sit there in the sun waiting for this person who's supposed to be so important to show up and speak, So he said they're waiting and they're waiting. And he said, and nobody really wants to be there to hear Obama because they don't like Obama. Okay. And we had a great discussion, this young man and I, about how the young midshipmen and how the cadets felt about Barack Obama. It wasn't very nice. See, it says here, in front of an outdoor audience at the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium, Harris urged graduating midshipmen to defend the country against a number of global threats. Yeah, while you tie their hands, while you reduce the fleet, while you shrink the military, you put transgenders and gays and promote them and promote that lifestyle. We're talking about fighting. We're talking about going out and neutralizing people and doing a job that nobody else wants to do. And they're talking about how we need to be more receptive to transgenders because it's like MASH. And with that MASH comment, I'm gonna take a short break. Okay, here we go. Okay. Well, this is the thing about all of that. I'm looking at NPR, and of course, NPR overlooks Kamala Harris's embarrassing moment, right? So I'm wondering how come nobody's quoting, what she said that got no response. It got such a poor response from the cadets. They said she was the only one laughing. She has a tendency to do that. She thinks she has a great sense of humor. She really doesn't. She really doesn't. So this was her joke. Just ask any Marine today, would she rather carry 20 pounds of batteries or roll up a solar panel? And I'm positive she will tell you a solar panel. And so would he. Ha 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 ha. Well, see, these young people are serious because they know when they're out in the field that whatever they take into combat on their backs is what they have. Kamala Harris is joking and playing around. These young people are serious because they're the ones who are at the tip of the spear. Kamala Harris is saying, well, you contributed to the greatness of America because you rolled up your sleeves and you got vaccinated and you made it to today. And I'm sure these kids are going, I'll be glad when this chick is off this stage and quits talking. You understand? I'm sorry. I'm sorry that my fellow naval and Marine officers had to endure the nonsense from Kamala Harris. I'm sorry. It's a shame. It's an atrocity on one of the greatest days of your life that you had to put up with this nonsense from this moron. But remember that. And remember that when you go out to vote. These are the kind of people that you are putting in the office. People who are not taking the threat of China and Russia seriously. The people who are putting our young men and women at a disadvantage when it comes to fighting in the field against an adversary that has said just as recently as a month ago, get ready for war. President Xi told his military, get ready for war. Charles Butler didn't say it. President Xi said it. Get ready for war. So, I'm gonna thank you guys for like I said, for responding out there. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. It's been a while since I've been away, and I tell you, it's been something. It's been something. I missed you. I missed all of you. So, we're gonna pick up the pace tomorrow. We have a couple of guests. Probably first time guests. We're going to talk about. I don't know what we're going to talk about today, true, but there's plenty to talk about. We talk about the tax increase. I've explained to people time and time again that Joe Biden's tax increase is not about people making over $400,000. It's about people making under $400,000 to $150,000. That's where the tax burden is going to come from. That's where people are being stripped and being taxed to death. So either you try to make over 400 or you make under 150. Over 400, under 150. Because anything in that, he's going to kill you. And he's lying to you. So when you see him, make sure that you tell everybody that you know that Joe Biden's lying. And here's why. Because his tax policies jack up and remove tax breaks for those people making under 400,000 and over 150. He's removed those. He's tried to remove those tax breaks, and he's left the tax breaks in place for the people making the Trump. Let me state it clearly. The Trump tax breaks in place for those making over $400,000. Hello, it's just a fact. I mean, this is not stuff you can make up. This is not supposition. This is not conspiracy. And speaking of conspiracy, did I not, and you guys can respond in the chat room, did I not tell you that the COVID-19 was created in a lab in Wuhan and that Wuhan was a biological weapons center? Did I not tell you that? I told you that last year. They were saying, oh, it's conspiracy. Oh, Donald Trump said. I said it before Donald Trump. Because I had gotten papers that Fauci had delivered gain of influence, research monies, and the viruses to the Chinese. Fauci needs to go to jail. Fauci's bad news, I'm telling you. Bad news. Well, look, we got about 2 minutes here, and I would be remiss if I did not mention Memorial Day. It's always a very somber day for me because of my friends that didn't make it. And a very somber day for me because of all of the Americans who didn't make it. See, nobody gives their life. Nobody stands up and says, shoot me, shoot me. I don't want to live, just shoot me. No one does that. Okay? These people died doing what they wanted to do, serving with their comrades at arms, serving with their brothers and sisters in arms. And I love them for it. And yep, this is the last minute. So we're going to sign off on Red State. So let me go ahead and do that. Hey, Red State, thanks again for doing what you do. Thank you again. And we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 2 o'clock Eastern. Stick around though, guys. I'm going to finish up this memorial thing on YouTube and Facebook. Okay. Hey, boom, 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 boom. Okay. All right. Okay, that's it for Red State. Red State is over, and we're doing just the YouTube and Facebook and those things. Yeah, so it's always a very somber day for me and for my friends who are still here, still on this side. All I can say is that I hope that I'm making you proud, my friends and family. I hope that I make you proud. I hope that that I contribute to this thing we call America and the American dream, because I'm fighting for you. I'm fighting for all of you out there. I'm fighting for you to obtain the American dream, whatever you see it to be. It's not always a college education. It's not always a 3-bedroom house with 2 cars in the garage. That's not everybody's dream. And I respect that. But whatever your dream is what I expect you to pursue and have a right to pursue it. Obama said yesterday that Joe Biden is a continuation of his presidency. I don't know why he thinks his presidency is so great. It was the worst presidency we ever had. And he continues to tell, he said, if you're the average voter and you're kind of thinking, well, looks like Republican policies are working for me to some degree, which probably explains why Trump was able to make some inroads, modest, overstated, but real inroads among non-white voters, feeling like, I'm working and making a decent money and things feel pretty good. Yeah, Obama said this on Era Klein's show. It's true. And under Barack Obama, people were on welfare and people had food stamps. And that's what this guy thought was the American dream for Black and brown people and poor whites. Bring back Trump. Trump, 2020. 2024, Donald Trump. I can tell you down here in Tampa, I'm going to put a Trump bumper sticker on my car because I can, and I know that my car will not be tampered with. It will not be scratched. Whereas in Chicago, these liberals and these lefties actually think that they have the right, to do damage to your property because you don't agree with them. See, and that's how these people get hurt, because they come into contact with a guy like me and I'm not their daddy. Anyway, it's amazing. But look, guys, we're going to be back tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it, and I know you probably are too. And let's do what we do. We'll kick it. We'll pick up. And I can tell you that I am going to work on my book. I'm going to get that first book out in about 60 days, okay? That's a promise. Me to you. Me to you. Have a good one.